Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my new updated Silverthorn deck for Palamun, the Silverthorn, Dragon Empress, Venus Luquier. So this deck is, I actually prefer the reverse build more. I just found that one slightly more consistent, like you could hold out longer, you could be aggressive mid to late game, and you would still have enough counterblast at the end. This deck seems to have an issue what I noticed with counterblast, so I took out some units, some rear guards that used counterblast, like Anna. I don't think she's in here anymore. So let's just go through the deck. Start off 4 Silverthorn, Dragon Empress, Venus Luquier. So this is the new Silverthorn boss monster, or boss Vanguard. Different from the reverse in that it's counterblast 2 Silverthorn, so it kind of restricts you even further to being more Silverthorn specific, but at least it doesn't restrict you to calling Silverthorns from the soul. That's a good thing, and then it's also a cross ride, just like the reverse unit was. So next, I'm sticking with my 4 Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Luquier. A lot of people I've seen, they run 3 of this and they keep 1 reverse unit in. I could do that too, although I just wanted to run the deck as if it was just not reversed at all. So I kept all the reverse Luquiers, because I could easily just throw them back in, but I took them out just to experiment and see how the new Silverthorns are supposed to play without having to rely on the Luquier reverse. So it's the grade 3s. For grade 2s, they got a new rear guard. They didn't get a lot of cards in set 15, but what they got is very good. So this Silverthorn Upright Lion, he replaces Lillian, which was the 10k vanilla. There's no reason to run her anymore, mainly because this guy has the same effect that the Dragon Tamer Luquier has her regular effect. So when a Pale Moon is placed on R from the soul, he gets 3000. So both of these, like in mid game, with Zelma and you're comboing, these two are pretty good. So there's a lot of synergy between these two cards because they share the same effect. This is a Vanguard effect, that's a rearguard effect. But then late game it gets even crazier. So Upright Lion definitely is a very nice new addition to Silverthorns. Definitely recommend running the maximum amount, because this is the card that can hit pretty high numbers. Next, 4 Silverthorn Rising Dragon, just the 12k Silverthorn. And then 3 Maricica. Just kept 3 of her in. I really don't think Lillian's necessary anymore. Yes, Lillian is a 10k, so when it's called from the soul, it can apply more pressure to rear guards. This thing does use a counterblast. It does have a counterblast effect, but I just kept it in as a personal tech choice. So that's the grade 2 lineup. For grade 1s, obviously the 4 Silverthorn Sentinels. So Lydia, but then 4 Silverthorn Assistant Zelma. So this is basically the personal, this replaces Purple Trapezes. So Silverthorns have been needing a card like this for a long time, although Purple Trapezes worked just fine. The nice thing about this is it's 7k as opposed to 6k. So it's a better booster, and it has the same effect that Purple Trapezes had. The only exception is that this only works for Silverthorns. So, I mean, that's fine, because Venus Luquier really only works with Silverthorns primarily, especially because it's a special counterblast. But that's besides the point. Next we have 4 Silverthorn Assistant Irina. 4 of this because it's still really good, since we no longer have the original starter that Silverthorns got from set 8. She kind of carries over that effect. And then finally 2 Silverthorn Breathing Dragon. So this is still in here because I see it as a pretty good target to call out if you have an open lane and you need if you're going to be able to call something but you can't call like a 2 and a 1, you can just call this 1 and then like a 0 behind it, just for an emergency call. Now it'll work well if this guy's on your other lane, so that's why I went with him over Anna, because Anna uses counterblast and she isn't really that necessary in the deck. We have Maricica doing that effect. So I just went with more attack power. So that's the grade 1s. For the grade 0s, nothing really changed. I'm still running the 8 critical, the 4 draw, and the 4 heal. Actually, I was thinking of putting back in the stands. I may again do that. It's up to you. Really, I think it doesn't really matter. It's 8 critical or 4 critical and 4 stand. The Silverthorn stand, it's, in my opinion, that's still viable. I mean, I've seen Celestials go Rainbow Triggers a lot, and it works for them. I'm pretty sure it'll work with Silverthorn as well, especially since they've got this guy, and they can get pretty high numbers. So if you get stand triggers, that surprise stand sometimes can really finish the opponent off. So, yeah, so either or works, but this is what I have right now. And then the starter is Silverthorn, Beast Tamer, Emile, or Emile. This is a little different than the previous starter they had. I think this starter is really meant to work with Venus Luquier, and the other starter is meant to work with the reverse Luquier. Like, if you want to run this with the reverse, you can. It's just, I don't think that it's, like, since the reverse unit doesn't actually, like, it calls out stuff from the soul slowly, and you just basically gain advantage slowly over time. That's why I think the other starter is more optimal right in that deck, whereas this one's better with Venus Luquier, because with Venus Luquier, you're really just going to, like, spam a bunch of stuff all at once. And this allows you to go into the soul and fill the soul up all at once. So it's kind of those things, it's one of those trade-off things. I mean, you can experiment and see how it works, but for me, I think this is the better starter for Venus Luquier. And what was her name? Ionella was the better starter for the reverse. So anyway, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think as far as the grade 2, grade 1 lineup goes. What would you change? And let me know if you've been playing the deck. How's it doing? So as always, guys, please leave a comment, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.